Hey, Got Fox here. Today I'm going to talk about the difference between Nanos and overload blitzes. The sponsor today are nanobots and the future of everything from medicine to space warfare. So I didn't know what to show you to start off here, so you can watch a little bit as I try to figure out a nano blitz on my own as I rant here for a few minutes. In a little bit I'll show you some more serious nanos, either seen on YouTube or one discovered by Roflowski on the BLITZ subreddit. I won't show you how to do those, as those aren't my setups and they are far too deadly. But mine is experimenting in the 4-3 under, because it's a great formation for a blitz as the right tackle pays attention to the left outside linebacker momentarily. This is a very popular formation this year due to that fact. If you want the final setup, I got to look in the description. But this blitz is slidable, so only break it out when you need a clutch stop, maybe once a half or so. So watch me as I go through the adjustments. But anyways, on to the rant part. I saw a few days ago on the BLITZ subreddit a post that EA, their focus for the next patch will be the Nano Blitz. There were some strong commenters on there and elsewhere in other posts that said people just don't know how to defend them, and that the overload blitzes that people call Nanos are there in real life. And I don't disagree with that statement. Overload blitzes are there in real life, but the point of this video is to show what Nanos are versus overload blitzes and what things need to go versus what blitzes are okay to stay. I think the biggest issue with nano blitzes are those that get through the A or B gap untouched every time. Like you're seeing here, sort of. It gets better. In Madden, we have an advantage over defensive coordinators. We can go against opponents' O-line in practice and run every slight adjustment over and over again 1,000 times to find out what works with what little button presses. The problem with Madden is that things work every time. They are consistent. In the real NFL, free runners get through by having more rushers than blockers or an O-lineman screwing up their assignment. But in real life, human beings will not make the same missed assignment over and over consistently. So our consistent A-gap and B-gap pressures do not get through in real life. They can, but they aren't consistent. And that's the biggest problem with Madden's blitzes. They consistently get through, which is the word of the day today, consistency. EA needs to add some sort of random function to their O-line or D-line adjustments, something to stop them like that. Last year I suggested a hot route function for the O-line, so you can manually tell them where to block. It might work, but it could be a hassle for the offense. But to answer the main question and the main issue, no, overload blitzes should not be removed from the game, and I don't see how they could be. When you only have a certain number of blockers and they have more rushers, of course it's getting home, but the defense leaves themselves vulnerable to quick passes, which is how it should be and is in the NFL. What I consider nano blitzes are those that consistently get through the A or B gap, and consistency again is the key word in that sentence. And although the definition of the word nano has evolved, I think of them as all problem blitzes that confuse the AI of the blockers consistently. Especially if you can't slide block them or block a running back to protect against them, then they are a nano and worth fixing. The other definition I have are those blitz setups that rush 4 or less and consistently get through by confusing the O-line AI, which means they aren't touched by the O-line and have a free rush at the quarterback. Again, it happens once in a while in the NFL, but word of the day, consistency is king. So as you saw with this setup, that gets through consistently with 4, but here are the more wicked nanos I discovered. I'm not going to show you how to get through. That's with 3 basically, and a user that I should have moved back. Here's another one that gets through pretty fast. But anyways, so these are nanos I think should be, looked at and taken care of probably. He has 0 time in the pocket to get through. So let's move on to more like overload blitzes. And these I think are fine because of the amount of rushers coming in. So these aren't nanos, but they do not give much time in the pocket anyways. This is 46. I can show you the setup for this because this isn't really that big a deal. You go blitz the strong safety here. You go over the middle linebacker, hold it, and there you go. He still has 2 seconds, and there's holes in the defense, unlike when I'm rushing 3 or 4. So this is okay. Basically, let me know what you guys think about nano blitzes. If you like this video. But otherwise, we're just going to play this out like keyboard cat. One final overload as I move my middle linebacker here. But I don't consider this a nano because the blocking assignments had to change with the mic up there over the center. giving the free edge rusher with 5. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. Call to action. I'll see you tomorrow.